Hey, everybody, and welcome to Pinned and Broken, a Mantic Universe podcast with a focus on Epic Warpath. I'm Drek, and tonight I'm joined by Josh.
Hello.
There he is, Jordan,
Hello.
and making his incredible return, Kirill. Kirill,
Kirill. He's AFK.
is there a Kirill in the chat room with us? That's okay. I know he's here. He'll come back confused that we're talking. So, let's just jump right in. Updating on Adept. Oh, there he is.
Oh, so we should just start over.
No, we'll leave it. People need to know how dysfunctional we truly are. So, jumping in here, Adepticon is what 40 days away, something like. Um, at this point, the Epic Warpath tournament is sold out with 16 players. If you are interested in playing, please do waitlist the event so that Adepticon sees it. Requests have been made to expand it to 24 players. We have not gotten a response back from Adepticon. That was me checking in with Mantic as of this morning. So there has been no official word from Adepticon about expanding yet. But waitlist it so they know that people want to, and hopefully that will encourage them. I also saw that there is one open slot left in the containment of Adriana 3,000 point 6-player game. 3,000 point aside 6-player game on the 12-foot table. So someone can snatch that last spot up if they're interested. But that is March problems. More pressingly, in 2 weeks, gentlemen, I'm gonna see you guys in person in my own little town at my own little FLGS for a sold out 12-player Epic Warpath tournament. The Adepticon Pre-Game, and that, as I said, is sold out. And Josh, we were just breaking down the factions for that. What did we say we had? One Marauder, one GCPS, 2 Asterians, 2 Enforcers, 3
That's
Plague,
correct.
3 Forge Fathers.
Yep, then that brings us to 12.
So the only thing we're not seeing on table at this event is Nameless Environment, which is still pretty cool. That's a pretty diverse pull for a 12-person tournament. We're using the same Adepticon pack, so we're using the exact same scenarios, 1,500 points, 4x4 table. And I am ready to go. I have mats and terrain, fully painted terrain for that many tables plus. So we are spot on ready to go for that. But tonight, I thought it would be nice, since you three will all be playing in the event, if we went through the list that you're bringing, why you're bringing what you're bringing, and what you kind of hope to achieve, or how you hope to play the list. So, Jordan, do you want to lead us off with your Marauders?
I sure will. So I am bringing 2 different companies. I am planning on bringing a super heavy. So first company, I have a Ripper mech, accompanied by a squad of commandos, a squad of commando heavies, and a Marauder weapons team. And then the second company, I have the big old wolf crawler mech, accompanied by commando heavies, 1 squad, a squad of Maulbeasts, and a squad of Rainmakers. I got a chance to play this list. Was there last weekend or the weekend before at my FLGS? Player I played, his first time playing with the nameless, so he didn't have much command of his army, and he turtled a little bit much with army with short range. And I was very gun heavy, so I don't want to read too much into the results of that game at all. But that one experience, I felt pretty good about it, but um, it is very assault light. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, and I reserve the right to maybe change it in the next week before I come there. But if I do that, it probably would just be um, swapping out uh, swapping out one of the troop groups to brawlers rather than commandos and commando heavies and mall beasts. I'm not sure which flip flop that would be, but
No, I'm going to
mostly
force you to
similar.
retain that list. I'm gonna force load that list into Adepticon. You have to play this list now for the next 2 months. No changes.
Right. Well, I've got enough other painted. That was the other thing. I was not confident in myself in painting enough ahead of Adepticon. So my strategy was a super heavy will mean a lot less painting. But I've been on a fantastic epic kick the past week and a half, painting wise. Like
Yes, it's an uncharacteristic amount of painting for you.
I'm even painting here as we're chatting on some more vehicles. So here I thought I wasn't going to come close, and I'm basically going to have the entire the entire Kickstarter portion of plastics. So like what, two full squads of everything that's plastic, and then two squads of most things in the support pack, the STLs, except for the stuff that I'd never know I'd bring two of. Like I'm not doing two each of the super heavies or two squads of super thumpers or thumpers, or I'm going to do one squad each of the chimeras, right? I'm not going to do two squads of gunships and two squads of transports, but so I'll have way more flexibility than I originally thought. But um, I did enjoy the current list that I have. Um, Again, it was just one scenario, but as shooty as it was, it felt like a good list to turtle with, right? So we'll see how it plays out
Well,
long term. I might give one more shot. I
that's my
The
shortcoming when
one
it comes
thing
to
about
playing
it
as
is,
a turtle. So
yeah. The other thing too is, um, I only have uh, well, there's more than I think, but it's still it's AP light for a shoot heavy list. Um, I guess it's not that AP light, but eh, factoring in like fighting against heavy weapons, right, and the super bigs. Um, I don't have a ton of AP2 and higher. Maybe I have enough, maybe I don't. I don't know.
well, I mean, as
Need
an
more
enforcer
game.
player, like AP2 is like where I cap. So I I don't feel bad for you.
Well, I think that's where almost everyone caps, but it's also that specific number is the one that lets you ignore the heavy armor, right? So AP2
AP
is
Yeah,
where
one.
you're jumping.
AP anything lets you. AP0 lets you ignore heavy armor. As long as you have AP, you can ignore heavy armor.
Okay. I was thinking it was AP2 for some reason.
Mm-mm. Nope. Anything AP will ignore heavy armor. And all that means is you won't have the number of dice you roll for damage.
Correct.
So
Which is a pretty big thing. Oh, I will say that from the one game I played.
Oh, it's huge.
absolutely.
It was very disappointing having my dice as much as I did.
Well, I'm glad you could ruin the game for that new player on your first time out, just throttling them.
Right.
That's how you grow community, Jordan, you monster.
I mean, it
Any
did
other
take
thoughts
till
on your
turn
list
5.
before we move on? Or? Oh, did it? That's good. At least you didn't
And I
table him
mean,
turn two.
so turn 3, the scores were very similar. He through turn 2, his stuff was a little even. Turn 3 could have gone either way, but it went way better my way than his way, turn 3. There's a couple early activation. Well, and this is kind of go into the whole meta of the play, right? Like, how the placement was, the orders that were chosen. He kind of got screwed activation wise, because of where he was and what he chose to do, and he couldn't move in far enough or out far enough. So that, and I had a lot of Overwatch stuff that turn. Like, he needed to move up and shoot. But I got lucky enough to throw some stuff off the table before I got to move because I overwatched a lot of stuff. So, yeah, getting into place and getting to shoot the Overwatch before the regular stuff is pretty important. So
Maybe we should have called the podcast Overwatch.
season 2, I guess.
Right. Well, Josh, you're bringing Forge Daddies, is that correct?
That is correct. I've been playing a lot of the Forge Fathers here recently, and well, it's what I've got mostly painted up to a okayish level. So being Forge Fathers, like everything in my list has AP, so I can deal with the heavy armor. But so specifically though, I'm bringing 2 companies. Each company is going to be led by a chief broker. They're the 45-point Wonder Man for the stunties. They give quick fix for vehicles and walkers. I don't know that you'll ever use Scout on them, but they give only an orange command dice. And that I feel like
Only.
that's the biggest. And well, I've seen what at least one player is bringing command dice wise, and it makes me cry. But so I'm only going to have 3 black and 2 orange to have in my command pool. But then for each company, I'll be bringing 2 units of Steel Warriors, and also in each company will be 1 unit of the Sternhammer battle tanks. So the Warriors are just in there because, got to have Warriors, and
You
they're,
gotta have troops.
yeah, I mean, they're the only really useful troop in Forge Fathers. Um, but the Sternhammer battle tanks, AP3 tanks, with shooting, always great. Kind of the linchpin of many of my battles. And then in the first company, I also have 1 unit of Iron Ancestors. I think they're just a phenomenal walker unit. They they melee, they shoot. They's all right. I mean, they're also anti-aircraft, so, good times. And then in my second company, I also have 2 units of the Holter half tracks. So those are the scout vehicles that are like armor 7 with sustained attack and AP1 with their shooting. And that'll let them be 14 inches up the table before the game even starts. Could be beneficial for turn 1 scoring. The only real big drawback for them, and I'll just throw it out there. You kill 1, the unit has no unit strength, so it's not really that great for objective grabbing first turn, but it might be something.
Depending on how spread out or where the objectives are, I mean, you could get away with some
Right.
steals.
But they're just a real annoyance unit. Then the last thing in my list in my second company is a Hulk atmospheric fighter. So just a 1 or 2 fighters running around shooting things. Pew pew.
I don't know that there's an abundance of AA, so that gives them a nice advantage for sticking around the board for a little bit.
Yeah, and you have to have what? at least 12 inches on your shots to be able to
At
even
least 12 inches to hit.
shoot.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then anti-aircraft to ignore the flying penalty, which I want to say is -2, or is it -1?
I believe it's
Negative.
-2.
I firefights in my head too, so I'm not sure which it is.
Yeah,
It's only
I
-1
believe
in
it's
firefight.
2. But yeah, so
Well, Carol,
that's
oh,
the
go ahead.
list. No, I mean that's the list. I feel pretty confident in it. But like I said, the big downside for me, I think, is the command dice.
Well, and
You have
doubly nice for you
identical.
and Jordan and Don is that you're going to get 3 games in before Adepticon, and you're going to see lists that you haven't seen. So it's going to give you a chance to really be like, okay, is that what I want to bring before you have to submit for Adepticon?
I mean, I've not fought Marauders or Asterians yet, so could change my worldview.
Good, Asterians are fast, like marsupials. Jordan, I'm sorry, I was talking over you. You started to say something.
Oh, I was saying I have 2 orange and the normal 3 black, so um, I think Josh is right where he needs to be. I don't think you're going to be
I
that
think
put out.
Josh is looking at other Josh's enforcer list and crying at the number of command dice he has available. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think he like doubles me in dice count.
He's probably got like 5 black and 2 green, doesn't he?
How do you even manage
Yeah, I
that in
think
this?
so.
What, Jordan?
3 companies,
How do you
3
even manage that
companies.
in this?
Oh, well, yeah, 3 companies would be a way to do it, and also enforcer commanders are really good. Um, I think the captain is 1 black and 1 green command die, and the peacekeeper captain's orange. I think the lieutenant's an orange. Peacekeeper captain might be a green. Well, Carol, that brings us to you and the lone GCPS in the game.
Yes, which makes me sad because I think GCPS are pretty cool. So
Well, the
I'm
army
bringing
literally just hit market, so unless
no
they
excuse, no excuse, because I was playing GCPS at Michigan GT
well,
with
I
all
mean,
official
kind of,
models that you printed for me.
right?
Okay, so company number 1 is a mechanized tank heavy force. We have a Canis command vehicle, then 2 units of Marines. Those are the cheapest forward that I can get. Then a veteran motorcycle unit, heavy weapons team, which is the GCPS only unit with anti-aircraft on any of their weapon profiles. So I had to include one of them. Then 2 units of Wolverine tanks and 3 units of Wolverine APCs. Actually put together all of my what are they called? Not the Lancer tanks and
Lancers.
Lancer APCs from my starter set, but I want the pinning rule on the Wolverine APCs, which led me to go with Wolverine tanks as well. Is anytime I can increase the chance to pin units on the table is a good time.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Then my other company is led by a lieutenant with 2 units of Rangers and a unit of Ranger tank hunters. And the idea here is that I didn't have enough Wolverine APCs to go full mechanized battalion because I only have 4 units of them. And so I kind of split it up, and it, in my
Well, those
mind,
Rangers are going to push up the board of Scout anyways, aren't they?
I hope so. They have anti-grav and stealthy. They don't have scout unless I'm missing something.
They do in firefight. Again, I'm banging rule sets together.
Okay,
Um,
so like the reason that I went with the lieutenant over a major is because he also has stealthy as a special rule, so to kind of keep in theme.
right.
And yeah, so I really enjoyed the Wolverine tanks when I got to play at Michigan GT. I thought they put out like really good firepower. And also looking at the Lancer tanks, they act like their weapon profiles they only have one type of shot. They have the same range. They have more dice at 4, but they're only AP1 pitting, right? So like you don't have that choice that you do with Wolverines.
Right.
And that was
So they have like
also
the high explosive and the anti-tank.
yeah. So like the Wolverine tank has two types of weapons, 2 dice AP2, which I mean this gives me 2 units of AP2 shooting. Two. I also have laser cannons on my heavy weapons team, which is AP2, and I have Ranger tank hunters, which are AP3. So I'm bringing a lot of AP, but I don't know what to expect, so I'm kind of over planning here.
Yeah, hear that, guys? AP3. See, I wasn't making it up.
Yeah, I guess my thought here is I need to be prepared to take down a super heavy with like what is it? Some of them have like their armor save or of
There's,
9 or
I think
whatever.
the Magma Destroyer is an armor 9.
Yeah. So I want to be able to like have some reliability in taking one of those things down. It goes back to my Warhammer 40,000 days when I used to play Dark Eldar, and I did not take enough Dark Lances, which are like their anti-tank weapons, and I was left in a situation where I couldn't take down a Land Raider, which for those of you that don't know, 40K is one of the toughest vehicles in the game back then. And so like I never went to another game where I couldn't take down reliably the heaviest vehicle or the heaviest thing in that game. So yeah, that's my list. And I'm
I
working
mean, that
on
happened
painting
to
it
me
right
at
now.
Adepticon last year, so I had like nowhere near enough AP in my or heavy weapons in my enforcer list, and I played half my games were against Forge Fathers, and it was just it was painful. Like, I couldn't
Yeah,
kill
so
anything.
we'll see. We'll see how it does. Like I like mechanized forces. You know, I like mobility. So I don't know how I'll feel about the Rangers only having their base move. I mean, they do get to move through cover, but I don't know how much cover you're going to put on all the tables. Like I don't know what the utility of that will be yet.
I am doing the standard suggested by Mantic, so it'll be 6 large structures and then 6 scatter pieces.
Yeah, that's not a lot. So we'll see. Um,
It's 6 like 6 by 6 structures, so it's not like they're tiny pieces of the terrain. It is
yeah,
not as
but
dense. It is not as dense as the old drop zone days, no. But
yeah, it's not as dense as I like terrain to be. So we'll see.
I like dense terrain too. But as far as like tournament prep goes, I have to try to like make sure I can make it even and fair across the board for everybody.
I get it.
Because I could jam pack an urban board and feel perfectly content playing on it.
Me too.
It dawned on me as you guys were talking. So 2 of the players that are playing in this tournament have not played a single game of Epic. They're 2 of my locals, and I'm providing them lists to play. So I have one of the Asterians and one of the Plague lists that we can talk about as well. And this is also the Asterian list that I prepped for Patrick to take to Adepticon. So for that
And for those
list,
that don't know, who is Patrick?
the Swedish Giant, the greatest wargaming player of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
I think he listens to us because he misses the sound of our voice from time to time. So the Asterian list that's coming, first company is an Overseer with 2 squads of marionettes and an Aedis Clade Warden, which is their super heavy. And then the second company is led up by a Narsa with a squadron of marionette phlogister. Jordan, is that how you correctly say that word?
Phlogister? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Phlogister?
Phlogister?
Flog?
I
Flogeister?
don't like that word. It's also
Flogeister?
so it's got a squad of Cipher
Phlogister?
Wardens, a squad of
You
Sky
may
Razors,
call me Igor?
a squad of Spectre Blade Master, and a squad of Chroma Force platforms. So there's a good chunk of fun stuff in there for him to play with. And like I said, it's got a super heavy in it. I still got to paint that. It's staring at me from the shelf over there. I was as we were sitting here talking, I'm working on the overseer. Um, and then the plague list. First company there is led by a stage 1 plague lord, and then there are 2 squads of zombies and a plague colossus. And Trey requested the plague colossus when we were talking about the game, and I showed him a picture of it. And he's like, "That's cool. Can I play with that?" And I said, "Sure. I can make myself print and paint one of those." And I know I shared pictures of it with you guys, and I had way more fun painting that thing than I ever thought I would. Very cool model.
It came out nice.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. Second company, he's got a stage 3 commander, a squad of ghouls, an HMG squad, a squad of leapers, a squad of bursters, and a squad of artillery. So a little bit of everything, just to kind of get a feel for the game. And that's almost half of the lists in the game.
Well, I'm excited for the variety. Getting out of my own little local meta, which is only a handful of people at the moment, but and getting to see you guys too. I mean, sure, that's nice too, I suppose.
Well, it was interesting when I reached out to the Columbus group, who's got about 16 players down there, about this tournament. The first thing I got was, "Dude, why didn't you tell us sooner?" And I was like, "'Cause I had a bunch of locals that I had to make sure got registered before I had you guys flood it." And then the second question was, "Well, can you handle more than 12?" It's like, "Not at my store. We're gonna be packed in there." Um, Sam was like, "If I give you a crisp, clean $5 bill, can you add 2 more spots?" It's like, "Dude, I wish. I really do." And we'll see how it goes. I mean, if we get in there and 12 is comfortable and it feels like we can add another table or 3, then as time goes on, we'll expand. Um, but yeah, when I opened up to them, they filled the spots in. It was same day I told them. So that's cool. And then there was one spot hanging out for Dave, and then I found out he couldn't go. And I reached out to them on their Discord and said, "Hey, I got one spot that opened up." And within 15 minutes, I had someone signed up. So it's like, cool. That is a nice feeling.
It's nice having a healthy game community.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to it.
So you're going from back to back sold out tournaments.
No, I don't know what that does for me as a Pathfinder if I just get an attaboy or what, but
You can put that on your resume, man.
is that a job hunting joke? I'm an event organizer.
Mhm.
There you go.
Well, let's see. That's all the list that we've got right now. So next thing I have on here is Hobby Desk, but I will note news-wise, there is not a lot of news. There was a big Australian tournament recently that Ronnie flew down to, and I know that the Controlled Fire guys got a chance to talk to Ronnie, and he confirmed what I think we all already knew is that we're going to get Nameless in Firefight in the summer. So that's fun. And they hit the social media goals that they had for bringing Nameless, or not Nameless, Rebs to Plastics for Dead Zone. But no ETA on that. I think we were talking before the recording. STLs for the final 4 factions are pushed to, I want to say, if I remember correctly, March. And then the first big epic expansion, the all faction expansion pack, is going to be in the summer. I don't know if that is going to be just physical or if it'll be STL or just STL. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff trickling into the Vault now as they revamp the store there. And if you care about Halo, they started showing off some new exclusive event models for Halo. A new Sangheili with, I think it was a fuel rod rifle. None of you guys play Halo, do you?
Nope.
Well, it keeps the lights on at the Mantic house, so we have to love it.
Or Halo.
I have nothing bad to say about it. In fact,
No,
there's local players that play it a lot. I just don't.
it is
I
a
don't have the
fine
bandwidth.
game. It's a fine game. I mean, it's Dead Zone, right? It's mechanically it's Dead Zone. For me, it got a lot better when the ODST pack dropped because that allowed me to build larger fire teams and play it more like a game of Dead Zone, which I enjoy. But it's a very good gateway game as far as like skirmish games go, though, because it's like, here's 4 models and everything you need's on your card and go play. And it's a perfect gateway right into Dead Zone, which is a great gateway into Firefight, which is a fantastic gateway into Epic. So just gotta keep feeding, right?
Exactly.
Well, want to talk some hobby?
Sure.
I love to.
I have a not even full 40-gallon tote of painted Epic terrain, which just makes me the happiest I can be right now because I was painting with Gordo the other night. We were chatting, and I was just on the struggle bus trying to finish off all of this fucking terrain. So to have it done and to have some of it out on the table, I'm just like, ooh, yay!
Would you say you have an?
I will
epic
really
amount of
appreciate
terrain?
playing on it.
What did you say, Jordan?
I said, would you say you have an epic amount of terrain?
I do. I am pretty sure I can safely do 8 tables right now with all plastic, fully painted terrain. I should be able to deck out 8 tables. No problem. So if Adepticon does not expand, I've got to bring a single tote and an army case and I'm good to go. But if Epic does expand, I have to add, let's see, bump from 16 to 24. That's math. 4 more tables.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like at least 3 tables worth of terrain. So
Oh man, is it all painted too?
yeah, it's all painted.
Ah, I'm gonna mouth kiss you next time I see you.
No, in
If
a
you want me
week and a
to.
half.
I mean, there has to be consent there. I won't just
Always
force myself.
consent. Always
Yes!
consent.
Ah, you're making my day. Uh, so, oh yeah, I found this is sad, and maybe I should share a picture of my Mantic pile of shame on the Facebook group. I found a sprue of ciphers in my Asterion bin because we've mentioned Patrick already, and I'm pretty sure we've mentioned him in previous episodes. He's flying over from Sweden for Adepticon. And to save him the hassle of trying to pack and ship armies over with him, I'm providing him an Asterion army for Firefight and for Epic. And aren't you giving him stuff for like Blood and Plunder or the medieval one? I can't remember the
I don't
Firelock of the
think
name.
he's doing any of the Firelock. I'll have to reach out to him. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but I remember a couple years ago he came and his models just got the crap kicked out of him getting over here, and he had to do a lot of repairs. What's their medieval one? Blood and Thorn.
Blood and Crowns
Blood and
for the
Crowns.
100 Years War.
Was that what he was playing 2 years ago, and his Swedish army got the crap kicked out of it in
No,
shipping, not in the game?
well, in the game he took second in the tournament, but it
Yeah.
was Blood and Plunder, just the
Okay.
land version of the game.
So yeah, but in prepping his army for firefight, I had there's 4 ciphers with fission beamers, and I physically only had 3, but I found a sprue and I was able to assemble and paint one yesterday. So his armies are ready to go. Sans, excuse me, I'm catching a cold, so my throat's like going to hell. Sans this overseer and Adis that I'm working on. And then I've got a burr up my butt. I had that firefight demo a few weeks back up at my FLGS, and there appears to be enough interest that I'm working on 500-point firefight lists. Actively working on Forge Fathers, Marauders, and Veermen right now. And I may either pick up some more plague stuff after selling all of my plague stuff off to Don, or or just print a few pieces, and I can 3D print a 500 point on the nose list of plague for firefight, but it's like a plague lord, 6 leapers, an aberration, and a pair of blitzer bikes. So it is an entirely melee list. There's not a single shoot die in that list, and I don't know if that's. I mean, it'd be an experience, but I don't know how good of an experience it would be.
Yeah, I'd tweak it some.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting when you look at the plague starter box, you get 30 ghouls for firefight. I'm sorry, to be specific. You get 30 ghouls, 30 zombies, 2 aberrations, a mule, and a plague lord. And the only things that you can't 3D print now are the zombies and ghouls. So you can get a box of 20 ghouls and a box of 24 zombies for like 25 pounds each. So you have to
That's not
kind of
bad.
decide what you want to spend on it. But at that point, I'm just like, well, I may just buy some zombies and ghouls just to do a dead zone or firefight list and call it a day. But because everything else in that box is 3D printable at this point. So, well, Carol, what about you? What's on your hobby desk?
So right now I am working on a unit of tank hunters. I am washing them with Bileton Green Citadel Shade. And I have like my entire army's worth of miniatures sitting in front of me. I'm at the wash stage for all of them, or most of them right now. And outside of getting ready for our tournament in Ohio, I've been spending a lot of my other available time when I can working on the rules for my own miniatures game, which
I thought you were
someday
going to
I will
say.
actually. Hmm?
I thought you were going to say fine tuning the 3D print files for a Gendling 32 laser pistol.
Yeah, that too. That too. I am sorry. I completely forgot about that. That would be ADHD, my friend. Out of
Oh,
sight,
it's a
out of
hell of a drug,
mind.
isn't it?
Oh yes. Yeah. Thanks
That's
for
okay.
reminding me that.
I still haven't printed the side covers for the one that I've got sitting up on my shelf
Mhm.
right now, and I'm looking up at it right now, and I was like, oh yeah, I should print those. So, no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone.
But yeah, like my goal is to actually come with a fully painted and based army to your tournament in Ohio, which is rare for me because I always get distracted or busy or whatever. But I picked a pretty easy like theme, you know, green color, green wash, brown details. That's it.
Well, and you had never messed around with the speed paints before, had you?
I mean, I've messed around with the contrast paints from GW, so like I know how they work, but I decided to like not go with the speed paint that I got for this army just because I didn't like how it was sitting on some of the models. So I'm repainting everything with
Oh,
non-speed paints.
very cool. Um,
Which I mean, it's slowing down my progress a little bit, but at the same time, it's all right.
I
It'll
mean,
be
if you're
fine.
laying down a base coat of green on everything too, those speed paints perform differently through an airbrush as far as how they lay down than they do right
Yeah,
on a
I don't have an
brush.
airbrush though.
I didn't remember if you
I'm
did
a,
or not, but I wanted to throw it out
I
there.
am the only one from this group of nerds that doesn't have an airbrush or 3D printer.
I know you don't have a 3D print. No, I'm kidding.
I did, and then my wife is like, you can't have that anymore because the fumes are making me sick."
Yeah,
And
there are health concerns with owning some of them.
yep.
Um, I'm actually
So I
considering redoing my ventilation in the basement for my resin printer, um, just because I've been using it a lot more lately. So
yeah, so one day I hope that I will be lucky enough to have a shed in our backyard, and that shed can be my 3D print Taj Mahal, and I can just go out there and not bother anybody, set my stuff to print, and have all of the toy soldiers that I could ever want made in my backyard.
man, it's a fantastic tool, and I mean, uh, I will simply say, the epic events that I'm running at Adepticon would not happen if I didn't have a 3D printer. Period.
Oh yeah.
Full stop. I mean, it wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have 6,000 points of enforcers and almost 4,000 points of plague and a couple thousand points of Asterians done. I mean, it's no way in hell. So
It makes
yeah, it's
everything
great.
so much more accessible, and it makes it so much more, just it makes it possible for people like you who have the time, who have the, energy, have the desire to grow the community to like just make the entry for games like this so easy because you just make whatever you want for whoever wants to try it.
Right, right. The best ability is availability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Jordan. Well, I think Josh knew because he already did this, but the 500 point firefight armies I'm putting together, the Veermen, rather than pulling out plastic that I have, I literally printed a 500 point list of the new Volt exclusive Veerman models, and I'm like, yeah, those are cool. So it's a lot easier than having to assemble plastic guys.
Hmm.
Well, what about you, Josh? What's sitting on your hobby desk?
Well, speaking of plastic guys, I've got a firefight of Forge Fathers that I have to still assemble, and I've been dreading that. But I've finished all of my terrain. Well, I got a couple little wall barricades to finish up, but like I said, I got about 3 tables worth.
Awesome.
So that's good. Going to get started working on my son's nameless. Right before we started the podcast tonight, my one son, we were doing Veerman versus Nameless and Epic Warpath here, and this was his like first intro game into it, and uh, he took to the rules really quickly. He's excited for us to continue the game because we only got into the third turn before I walked over here to put the headset on and be with you fine folks.
Well, apologize to him on our behalf. Was he raffle stomping you?
Yes, riflemen, when they roll eights, bad things happen.
Sustained attack is a great thing.
He started with 12 dice, ended with 12 hits.
I call shenanigans on that.
Oh, when you roll, I think he rolled 5 8s.
How old is he?
Just shy of 13.
Okay. So he's still at that young enough stage where dice do what he wants them to do. I'm
Right,
pretty sure
yeah.
the older we get, the worse they roll. Just don't throw them with the same oomph, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, so I've got all that to finish up on the Mantic side, and then since I'm playing in 4 game systems at Adepticon, I've got other models I've got to finish up and get going on, but it should all be ready.
Well, you're I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before. You do you do pathfinding basically for Firelock, right? You're a
Yes,
I don't know
yeah,
what they call their guys.
a quartermaster.
Quartermaster
But
makes sense. I want to say press ganger, but I know
that was
that
War
was the old War
Machine.
Machine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll also be spending the majority of Adepticon in the firefight or Firelock section. But Thursday, you guys got me for Epic Warpath.
Well, and as a side note, their Blood and Plunder is no joke as far as games go. It's built quite the reputation for itself over the last several years.
It, I mean, I I rep the game, but it's what 10 years now on its very first edition still, and going super strong. The rules work really, really well. But yeah,
They're
that's
doing
another podcast.
a massive model overhaul too, aren't they?
Yes, there's a new Kickstarter coming out shortly that's going to feature, I think it was like 150 new sculpts, a couple new ships. And so this is all 28 millimeter, like colonial Americas to India and stuff. But yeah, there's a 28 millimeter set between 1492 and was it 1720 or something like that. But yeah, good times.
See, you're like, this is another podcast, but check out this amazing segue I'm about to pull off. Speaking of Kickstarters, the Warpath universe has a new Kickstarter coming sooner than later for the Dreadball All Stars release. See,
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
I'm like a
But is
professional
that
at it.
is that the one being helmed by the infamous Jervis Johnson?
The original, like one of the original creators of Dreadball, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Not just
writing the rules for
not just Dreadball, but Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. That's it. Yeah. Sorry. I so I don't know if I lose my Warpath Universe fanboy card for this or not. Like I'm aware of Dreadball's existence, but it's also something that's like that's cool background noise for me and world fluff, but I don't like the game doesn't appeal to me, which you think it would because I'm a big football fan, I'm a big hockey fan, and I could probably enjoy it, but it's just not on like the top list of things where I'm like, oh, I really want that. But there's a Dreadball community that's pretty excited about it, so I
Well, the
mean,
new one's
we'll see.
basketball. The new one's basketball, so it's less exciting than football or fantasy football or hockey or soccer, right?
You know what? I honestly don't know precisely what the Dreadball sport is. It's been referenced in a couple of the novels. But and there's a trilogy of novels. I guess if I want to read Warpath lore, I should bust out. I should pick up that trilogy of novels. But it just I don't know.
So I think the original Dreadball was more football, but Dreadball All Stars is basketball-ish.
Well, I don't know that they're changing the sport. I think it's still Dreadball. It is still the sport of Dreadball. But All Stars is just an all-star game as opposed to just a regular.
Like it's on the map of it is like a basketball court for All Stars.
The pitch, is that what you want to call it? The pitch?
No, like it's pretty sure the video talks about All Stars being basketball-ish.
I don't know. I don't know, but maybe I should read into that and learn, because I may have to demo it at some point. Well, Jordan, since you're talking,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on your hobby desk?
Well, I'm massively, as I was stating before at the beginning of the podcast, I'm heavily pushing through on utter completion of my Epic Marauders. I've started printing and building. Haven't got quite to painting. A really good chunk of salamanders for Kings of War, and then I've
Josh, did you hear that?
I hear it. I'll believe it when I see it.
I don't know if Kirill listened to the last episode. He wasn't here. Kirill, Josh and I made a bargain with Jordan that if he assembled and painted an entire Kings of War army, that we would match him.
Okay.
So, how many points of salamanders are we talking about, Jordan?
How many have I printed? How many do I plan to paint on sooner than later?
Yeah,
Because
because
my
Josh and I have to
original
think about building armies.
my original sooner than later goal is 1,000 points, because I got a local guy that's pretty big into kings, and most of his ready lists are 1,000 points.
Okay.
But the game is intended to be played at 2,000, so I think he probably has at least one army that way. So the intent would be to push to standard tournament size sooner than later. But in addition to that, rather than building the army I had everything for, second army for firefight, I'm leaning towards Forge Daddies.
Leaning towards you, lying sack of shit.
Jumping straight right in the deep end. I've assembled a few things of that already. So I don't know. They're just speaking to me more than enforcers right now. So
That's fine, you traitorous bastard. I look forward to murdering you on the field of battle.
If somebody
Um,
3D prints me a bunch of stuff, I will match and make my own army. I don't care what army it will be. I don't care what it'll have in it, but I'll paint it up.
no, the 1,002, but I mean that's relatively cheap, right? I'm probably between $50 and $100 worth of resin. Plus, I spent, I don't know, 150, 175 on the salamanders STLs.
so you spent
Whatever,
$250 on a unlimited army.
Yeah. So still a pretty good deal, but well, also the thing is I don't know how I need to print a lot more of the baseline inventory. Because Kings requires lots of that.
Yeah,
Although
no, I'll have to follow
salamanders,
the way it works.
one of their I don't think they're very expensive, right? But you can build a list pretty easily of one of the baseline troops is Ember Sparks, though I think you can't take them big enough that they only end up being they're troops, but they only end up being in auxiliaries. Because you can't take them in regiments. Maybe you can only take them in troops.
I
don't know.
You're
I'm still
using a
learning.
lot of words.
We have deviated far from talking about Epic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're at the tail end here, where we're just talking about the hobby desk now. So
We have deviated far from the game that this Never mind. I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, well, Carol, technically, Blaine is a multidimensional traveler who exists in both Warpath and Kings of War. So you guys
You're
should
saying
read a
that
book.
like
Yeah.
it's yeah, I was gonna say, you're saying it like that's a name I should know.
So, but yeah, I hope to have my Marauders done within the next week. That is my current focus, because in different ways I am excited to start assembling more and painting more of the salamanders and the Forge Fathers. And I'm not gonna lie, like I think both of them will lend well to incredibly easy paint schemes too. Because I have like 3 other King's armies that I've bought and semi-assembled that, like, yeah, I don't want to paint that. Like I got a lot of Northern Alliance and um, salamanders are just going to be way, 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 way easier to paint. So,
Yeah, what you bought in Hard to Northern Alliance to Forces of the Abyss to Night Stalkers.
yep. Which Forces
And
of the
I,
Abyss and Night Stalkers will both also be easy paint jobs.
mind you,
Um,
there's no judgment in that because I'm sitting on a buttload of Basileans, elves, orcs, and Forces of the Abyss. So
I blame Manic for having crazy sales at conventions, the past few conventions I've been to.
yeah, yeah, I had absolutely zero reason at MGT to buy 2 mega army boxes of Basileans other than the fact that they were half off.
Um,
So
well, yeah. And part of it was like, man, that's a mega good deal. Mind you, they were getting rid of 3rd edition boxes in prep for the launch of 4th edition. But um, when I bought them, I was like, all right, I know these are going to sit a while, but it's a fantastic deal, and I'm supporting Mantic.
right.
So I don't feel bad that it's a shelf prop right now.
Well, a lot of people haven't seen your shelves, so they don't know. Do you ever get around to painting that Dragons Don't Share diorama?
No, I will
Hey,
some.
you'll be able to see my version of that in a couple of weeks. It's actually at the FLGS in their cabinet.
I think it was there, and I saw it the last time I was there.
It's
Maybe it wasn't
it's
yet, but I thought it was.
been there since shortly after they opened. I brought them some models to put on display. He actually has all of my old one-page rule stuff in his back room on shelves, just up for people to use minis to play games. So that stuff gets a little bit of use, and it's out of my hair. So win-win. Well, gentlemen, any final thoughts or anything you want to share before we wrap this up tonight?
Sure, I'll go with mine, as I always like to end with a little rules interaction. Just remember, you cannot have a vehicle assault a building in Epic Warpath. So if you've got the nameless Goliath and that giant scary thing, your troops inside a building are safe from it.
That is weird. Does it have like the demolisher rule? Can it destroy the building?
No, I think it's just got 10 AP3 attacks or something like that.
So you cannot
Do.
cannot damage a building unless you have Demolisher.
Correct.
It just flails against the wall. I want to kill you. A video would have made that funny as I was flailing my arms like a toddler.
Yeah, so I mean it can get you in woods and the open, but buildings once again show their OP-ness in Epic Warpath.
Feel a lot better about me having buildings on the table now, aren't you?
Yeah, there's only one nameless player. How many Goliaths could he possibly have?
Hey, for all you know, 6 of the players at Adepticon will be nameless.
Oh, that's true. Oh wait, and there are no nameless at the event, right? Let me look at that.
There are no
list again.
nameless at
Nope, no
the
nameless.
Adepticon Pre-Game, but no squids, no rats.
I mean, if you would have
Kirill,
opened
any?
it up, the Columbus players sooner, we would have had like nothing but dwarves, right?
I shared the early breakdown of factions with them, and one of the guys actually said, he's like, "Huh, so it's just us, huh?" Because they have an overwhelming number of Forge Father players down there. Which I was giving Kyle Poole, Jordan, you know Kyle,
Yep.
flack because he plays Forge Fathers in Firefight, and I saw he was bringing enforcers. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, Sam printed my army off for me, and he refused to give me Forge Fathers because there were too many Forge Father players. So
So he wanted to, he just couldn't.
right. I will note though that it looks like a lot of those guys have also like already started spreading out into multiple armies. So I think Mace, who's coming up from Columbus, is coming with Forge Fathers, but he also has a GCPS army he's working on. So there's some variety out there still. And I mean the game's still very much in its infancy, so I think what we see faction distribution wise this year and what we see next year will be interesting. All right. Josh, I got your final thought. Jordan, did you have a final thought? Did I ask you?
No, you didn't ask me, but I'm not sure I have a final thought. Other than lots of washing, paint, wash paint drying on your hands, becoming sticky can then be bad and pull paint off of models. So be careful how you wash.
I'm going to take the message as be careful how you wash. Carol, any final thoughts from you?
No, be careful how you wash.
Oh man, well you know what? I think Jordan just came up with our tagline for the show. Be careful how you wash, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for listening.